where they gone and foreign and now I come back and have a woman up there and pick me. You see some of them are come down your back and I ask the woman if them can take them back. Don't take him back. Don't take him back. Because him did it so long and him could have do look out in papers and all them something there. And see one guy come in and say, all right, I don't care. I don't care, I go and send back the whole round down there, whether something happening in the country or not. We are sending out to the Jamaican people them in America now. We did it for years and go up for one passport and the passport no good again. And them not do nothing for really put themselves in order now. I hear a whole heap of them are head for Canada, Canadian border. But you are, because that's a serious thing. That's a serious thing. Look at brethren and sistren. It's not only the one them who them feel says criminal them are look for, them are take the deport, you know. It's not only if you're not legal, you might look on it, you know. You them are look on now. Because the guy who put in charge of this thing, you know, you him say no, him say look here. Him can't to some constitutional thing with them at about, you know. You have a thing named I tell you, it really weird. You have about denaturalization.
Hello viewers and subscribers, Wagwan, hope are doing good, hope are doing great. Now my people, we're there again on the Soul Chat TV with another Mutabaruka content, and this one is the latest Steppin razor as of Thursday, December the 5th. Yeah man, the latest. Now in this one, Mutabaruka will be discussing a whole lot of topics, included Donald Trump and a lot more, my people. But it seems a way like Donald Trump is going to create another war with Mexico, because it claimed that a lot of the drugs, you know, the drugs that turn people in Zambia, I don't know if you know that kind of drugs, it's a fentanyl, something like that, you know. Them say them want to seize that and stop it, but when you check the ratio, it's American that is actually bringing it into their own country, taking it from, you know. Boy, it look away, my people. And also Donald Trump will be, you know, sending back a lot of people at their home country, because he's rolling out a new program to denationalize people from a certain place to their own hometown country. It's crazy, my people. So, you know, we have to hope for the best, you know, and prepare for the worst as well as Jamaicans abroad, you know. It set away, my people. But once and once, before we get into it, you know, it's a Black Power movement. Drop a like and subscribe, share to a friend or a family so they can be a part of the move. Now, let's take a walk.
This is the Steppin razor, the art of war. We're there with you. We never have to say it. A pure rain. About a month now it a go on, so may I tell you, never seen so much rain in my life in Jamaica. Things so easy. Hey, una follow where I go on with Donald Trump. Him still in the news, you know. I know him in the news. Most of the people them who him select for him government are criminal, you know. There's either them a pedophile, them thief. One of them is including him too, so it's not an unusual thing, because him is a criminal in himself, and him go likewise, him pick most of the criminals in him representative in him house. But the biggest thing is this tariff thing. We are going right tariff. I don't know much you know what a tariff is. But it's like if you're going to export something, or if you're going to send something to a next country, then put a tariff on it, where you have to pay for coming out of the country. Well, Donald Trump has said, what you know, it's like China, 100% tariff. But it's not even the China part where people kind of get nervous about now. It's Mexico and Canada. Mexico and Canada is borderline to America. Did you know that the other time when California was Mexico and Texas? Anyway, according to Donald Trump, he is going to have a mass migration or mass throwaway of illegal immigrants in the country. But in part, he will go beyond those illegal immigrants, which we never talk about where I'm saying, but this is what I talk about, you know. Donald Trump say he will put a big tariff on Mexico and Canada so that they will prevent the illegals them from coming out of the country with drugs. With drugs. No, a fentanyl I talk about, you know, it no reach us so yet. I'm not going to say that because Jamaica is a place where if it's America, it's there so. Anyway, here where the problem with that now. Bam, the illegal, they might come through the border them. Yes, we know that. But if most of the drugs will come in America, fentanyl where they might talk about coming in America, it's Americans them carry it there. It's Americans them carrying out the country, and I hear that it coming from way over to China, sorry. The fentanyl them are come from China. And I don't know much how you look on or nothing, but if you look on a thing in a Philadelphia, I think of Philadelphia, I see it first. And it's all in a LA too. With this epidemic in these countries where, in America where, trust me, that the drug there are the worst one me say. Are the worst one me say, Rasta. I still try to find out why when these people take take this drug, them bend down. It's like them bend down, them face start and look on the ground. But it's a killer of whole heap of Americans. Anyway, obviously, anybody would afraid for that really reach them country, but he might target the wrong thing. It's the Americans them take the drug from Mexico and carry it coming in America. And Canada, oh, poor little Canada. Canada, I mean, really. Anyway, it a create a upset now because after I'm done lick out against Mexico, the president, which is a female, say, look here, you can't come bully me, you know. But I go like you want to bully me, you know, Rasta. Because if you put tariff on our things, you're going to put tariff on your things, and it's very difficult for the two away. Now, the Canadian, should you know, him kind of, I don't know, him go down a Marilago go talk to Trump, and it's the weirdest thing. After I talk to Trump, I should have played it. No, I know about to play the tape. It's going to take like a while. But after I talk to Trump, and I might say, no, this thing, it never work out good for me, you know. You know, nobody wins in a war like this now, where you are going to jack up your price, me are going to jack up my price, because at the end, it's the people them who consume the thing are going to feel it, and the people them who actually make the thing are going to feel it. And there's a whole heap of things America import from Canada, and also vice versa. Well, Trump say, watch you know. I don't care what you want to say, you know, because if you can't stop it, just we annex. I don't know much people know the meaning of annex now, because annex is like when a person now, or a group of people decide, say, them are going to take over your things and control it and make you become a part of them. Well, Donald Trump tell the president, the prime minister of Canada, say, look here, if you can't control the border, we might have to go turn Canada in the 51st state of America. You hear me say? The man had threatened the next prime minister, you know. Say, look here, if you can't control it, we're going to make Canada become the 51st state of America. And if you want to stay on, you can be the governor. You can be the governor of that state. And I'm talking about we're going to divide Canada into two. One going to be Republican. No, it's a joke thing. I want to think it's a joke thing. But it's not a joke thing when you stand up in front of a president and his country and tell him, say, you want to take one country and make it become the 51st state of America. It's a serious thing. The Canadian people, them begs. As a matter of fact, them begs with them prime minister for really go down, they're going to make the man angle him that way there. It's all over all of the different news players them are carried. It's a terrible thing. No, him say after the prime minister of Mexico, the prime minister of Mexico decides, say, look here, watch you now, Trump. You can't come bully me, you know. Because if you put something on our things, we are going to put something on your things. And then it's a war, and nobody winning one of them war there. The man, he told back now and said, watch out. A long time I said, you know, about a year and a half ago, them said, you know, say them want bomb. Them go bomb Mexico, you know. Them go bomb Mexico, forget rid of the juggler, them and all them something there. But it's next door you talk about, you know, that is like Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine the next door Russia, you know, and Russia bomb Ukraine. And Ukraine a bomb Russia now. Now, he must say, he must go bomb Mexico. Then with Mexico, you think Mexico stand up there and do. May I tell you, this brother, you know, easy. We are talking about Donald Trump and him fight. Well, starting a fight with him two nearest neighbors, them, Canada and Mexico. Well, the woman look like she not back down. We are talking about the Mexican Prime Minister. She not back down. While, well, I am told that the reason, well, that is why I hear. I'm told that the reason why Trudeau go down to Mar-a-Lago go visit him is because Canada don't allow criminals to come into them country. Can you imagine that? A president get charged with rape, get charged with this, with that, and the man is a president, and then him elect peer criminal again in a party, in a government. Anyway, him a promise, him a go say, him a go bomb, him a go send Joan down to Mexico, forget you that the cartel, them bomb out the whole of them. I don't know how people look upon them thing there. I say, well, I'm just a say it, but given who him is, I don't think him just a say it, you know. Because right now, him have all of the, him have NATO in this, because, you know, him say I'm going to draw out America to NATO. Him have the Russian, them, I try to figure out which part him there, if him there on Putin side or Kalinsky side, and all of them start to get nervous now about this tariff thing. So everybody are prepared now for the worst. They are prepared for the worst, and the farmers, them especially in America, is worrying because what now a whole heap of the immigrant them were in America is foreign, is illegal aliens, according to them. And if you move the workforce there, them white people, they now go do them job, they go pick strawberry and pick this and pick that. Them now go do that. You know, see it? So, right, so that all get leak. That all get leak. But apparently him not care. Him say, I'm going to leak China hard. China say, okay, what we are going to know, we part of brick. How much I want to hear about brick, but we talk about brick whole heap of time. A group of countries, like the B stand for Brazil, the R stand for Russia, the I is India, and the C is China, and then you have South Africa. And now you have a whole heap of ones that China and planet, just like the Or you have NATO. You have NATO with a whole heap of them kind of country where you have no BRICS. Well, you know, BRICS is a different kettle of fish, you know, because China decides, say, all right, here we're going to do. We're going to stop export certain things in America, where America can't do without certain things from China. We're talking about like even on the car, them, the parts for car and technology and all them something there. So it's a big problem. So BRICS now, I gather up all them, the member them and I say, look here, it's long time America I wring the neck of people when them buy goods, so and then you have to have American dollar, which is just the problem about they know. You have to, if you go buy things are foreign, Jamaican dollar can't buy nothing foreign. You have to get American dollar and send it, go over there, go get your thing. That is how the thing gets so costly. Because you have to change American dollar, change Jamaican dollar to get American dollar, and it's buy it, so it costs you. Well, these nations that say, look here, we are one of the largest percentage in terms of population of people who do business. So here we're going to shift from the US dollar and start do business in a gold or something else other than the US dollar. And them intention now is to weaken the US dollar. Because if all of them countries there don't want US dollar, and them will take the currency where them get, obviously American dollar will go down. And that is the intention of this BRICS organization as opposed to NATO organization. So right there, so now you have a little friction, no little, big friction going on now. Russia is the head. Well, I know them the head still, but them is the one, the main one we enter here about BRICS or Russia here about. But Brazil is the one where I call the shots in terms of the US dollar them. Them I say, watch out. Brazil I say, watch out. We have a whole heap of things I export and I import. Every time we have to export them, we have to get US dollar. We have to take US dollar, we have to give them US dollar. No. So them want to make the US dollar be null and void in terms of world transaction as it deals with goods and services. And that is a big problem. That not going to only affect the one them who is doing this thing, but it will affect all Jamaica too. Yes, it will affect Jamaica big time if these BRIC nations decide say them not take US dollar in a no trading with nothing. Them want other things. So what's going to happen? So we talk about this thing where Donald Trump create havoc all over the world with him announcements them about where I'm going to do and where him not do. And people seem to attack like say, him just attack them things there. Well, if he's a Mexican now or a Canadian and you hear the man attack them way there, you know, I think it is no joke because it's bread and butter we I work with. You know, see it for different countries where him can wield big sip over everybody because America, the big bad United States of America. But you have people out there, you have governments out there who say, we're not bow to your little bad man gangsterism. And as we say, the lady from, I don't remember what she name, the Mexican Prime Minister, she's one of them who say, well, bring on the tariff thing where you talk about tat for tit for tat. And so it'll work. The Chinese them say, all right, things so we are about to where you deal with. Boom. Them start already. And him not reaching at the house yet, you know. At the 20th of January, I'm supposed to go in there. And him start create all these problems. For the world, not to go for America, or we, for the world, So you are sending out to the Jamaican people them in America now. We're there for years and go up for one passport and the passport no good again. And them not do nothing for really put themselves in order now. I hear a whole heap of them are head for Canada, Canadian border. But you are, because that's a serious thing. That's a serious thing. Look at, brethren and sistren, it's not only the one them who them feel says criminal, them are look for, them are take the deport, you know. It's not only if you're not legal, you might look on it, you know. You them a look on now, because the guy who put in charge of this thing, you know, you hear him say no, him say, look here. Him can't to some constitutional thing with them at about, you know. You have a thing named I tell you, it really weird. You have about denaturalization, naturalization, where you are an American by naturalized American. Well, you must say no. He must say, he have a thing named denaturalization, means say, he must look into that now and decide, say, all of that too, all them people there who claim, say, them have this and have that, he must send them home too. So, I don't know, Jamaica, you better prepare for all on a long time, man them, where they gone and foreign and now come back and have a woman up there and pick me. You see some of them are come down your back and I ask woman if them can take them back. Don't take him back. Don't take him back. Because him did it so long and him could have do look out him papers and all them something there. And see one guy come in and say, all right, I don't care. I don't care. I go and send back the whole round down there, whether something happening in the country or not. Whether something happening in the country or not. When illegal, we go and send you down back out in the country. Me know say Jamaican have the biggest population of Caribbean national in America. Me not ask somebody that. Jamaica have the biggest nationals, Caribbean national in America. New York, Florida, Philadelphia, California, and then you have the little in-between places them. Only the day so long, and you never do nothing for setting yourself straight. More than I run up and down like so now was. And now see it now, you have to tweet to figure out what you're going to do. And some of them now, look, because them up there so long, them married to an American woman, and the American woman will look after them, especially if them white. The American woman will look after them. Well, bye-bye to that white American woman. You better come back to Jamaica. The problem is, they come back to Jamaica, come create problem. Yeah, they come back to Jamaica, come create problem. Maybe we have to go send them pan, I don't know, send them somewhere else because it's terrible. It's terrible. Jamaican, you never see long time. You just see them here, so come forward. I have a whole heap of bridging like that. They are far enough. Every time I go to America, I see them. I say, why? I say, why are you still up here? I say, yes, sir. Oh, you mean? I not left your bridging. They might run taxi. They might do this, just some little menial work. Some work where they wouldn't do any, so them go far and go do it. And them still never put them papers right. Still never put them, you know what Jamaican go through Mexico border? I ask somebody that, you know what Jamaican go through the Mexico border there. And the America there right now. Illegal. Well, him say, him a go deport how much millions of illegal alien. I don't know if him wife legal, but she never come from, she not American by birth. clear up on the top of Europe they should come from. But we will see what is going on. The rain approve a whole heap of things in Jamaica. One, it proves the government is not employing the right contractors them, and not only not employing the right contractors them, but is not supervising them, looking over them to say that the work that them doing to the public road them is properly done, or else there should be a consequence. There's no way you could have given a man a work to fix a road and fix some pothole, and by the time the next rain come, it never gone 6 months since him fix it. Not even 6 months, and you pay millions of dollars. And there's no consequence. I mean, say, he might forgot go over it again and get pay again. Big problem for the people them. Big problem. And now we hear Darrell Vaz come out and I say, boy, it's really terrible for you, you know. And just yesterday we hear the Prime Minister say, yeah, true, it's terrible. We have to go put all $1 billion more upon the money we have to do. Then we hear you take the people them for joke, idiot. The people them tell us the road terrible and the road terrible. Every day somebody come on the radio, terrible. Me come on, people must be tired to hear me I play the scratch record. Say the road terrible. And now him just a come say ratted. You know, so we're going to put $1 more million. Because Darrell Vaz ball out. The King of Portland, him ball out. And say, watch out, it's really terrible for you. Incompetence. We hear them say, them that go get the contractor, them look on them work, and if it come back in a certain way at a certain time, him have to go sign contract to say if you're going to do it over. But me not see that happen. I have a hole in front of my yard long at the bottom. Main road. If you go Portland, if you go Lawrence Tavern, you have to pass a hole there. And trust me, that hole there one time they dig out to the point where you could have looked under the road in the river. And just the other day, me see, them block off the road and do this, tar it off, this, that. And I tell you, the hole bigger now than when before them did fix it. It's bigger. How the hell that possible? And I can show them why it happened to you know. It's a simple thing, you know. The water run from round and the bamboo area, so for go down in the river, and some man block up the top of the road because them want to drive go around the sun. And through them want to drive around the sun, when the rain come, it come right down and make a little gully right in the middle of the road. Now, how them not see that? How them not see it? Them pay a contractor millions of dollars for doing it. Out on fire, say dog, I eat dog. I want to tell you, say, the dog, them a live better, much better than the human being them. Much better. So, as we say, we have Stephanie Maya on the line. Good afternoon.
Greetings and blessings.
Well, long time I don't see somebody like you at all. Where you live? Where you come? Where you there?
No, man, I saw you when earlier this year it was at Tony Rebel album launch, and I bought one of your books and they signed it for me.
Okay.
So long ago, yes.
All right, Mama, give thanks. All right, so I see you going in at the We Are the World, like it's like a We Are the World project. Wake Up Jamaica. Tell me, what is the issue behind this? Wake Up Jamaica. What's the history?
So I know you're well in tune, you know, because our intention was to do something that feels like a We Are the World. And you're the first person who've even recognized it for what it was meant to be and what it is, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, we are in one global world, and the globe is getting smaller with technology. And some of the problems that we face in Jamaica are worldwide problems, and some of the problems that are outside of Jamaica are even worse than the ones in Jamaica. But Wake Up Jamaica is meant to be a solution-oriented outreach program. It's a public education and empowerment program powered by the Rita Marley Foundation. And our aim is to increase Jamaicans' awareness of our role and responsibility to contribute to the development of ourselves, like actually participate in the development of who we are meant to be as a people and actualize our potential, but not just for ourselves, but for our family, contribute to the communities that we're in, and by extension, contribute to the development of Jamaica at large.
All right, so the song, all right, I know when them do, because we also did a project when the family there in Ethiopia
right.
years ago. All right. Usually when you do a project like this, it's to get funds for help the people them. This music, you know, you intend to sell enough to really make a dent, to get the money, or you just make it to be aware, make the people them aware?
Both. We want to increase the awareness. We want the song was meant to be a call to action. Right? Wake up, stand up for the truth. If not we, then who? And if not now, then when? It's a call to action for Jamaicans to be more alert, more aware, more awake, and actively contribute to who we are as a people. Because truth be known, no government of no nation can 100% develop the nation if the people are not also doing their part. And I think we're a little bit lagging behind as a people. We know how the government thinks they, but what are we doing as a people to see the Jamaica that we want to see? So it's not just about sitting down and complaining. It's about standing up and being active. So this is how we feel like we can play a role. The music is for education, but it's also for fundraising.
You know, so you need to get it on a wide. I know this is part of the promotion of it, but a music like this, to make it really take life and do what you want it to do, it needs to get a company where can make it worldwide. Yeah. So you have a company. I mean, I know it's a Rita Marley Foundation, but I don't know if Rita Marley Foundation is a music promoter.
Not at all. So we've been up to today. We had a meeting with Tough Gong International, and Ziggy operates Tough Gong worldwide. And what they're doing for us is they're making sure that the song is available on all platforms worldwide: Spotify, Apple Music, and the likes of them. We're also ensuring that we're getting into the territories where Jamaicans are a big part of the diaspora over there. So the UK, the Canada, the USA, and Africa. So we're definitely trying to get the music as far reaching as possible, particularly where we have a large amount of Jamaicans. We feel like, you know, the influence that we as a people have on the rest of the world speaks to our pledge when we say play our part in the advancement of the human race. I might be naive, or I might be, I don't know, high on believing in myself, but I feel like as a people, we're different. As a people, we're powerful, and we know how to make a mark. So I'm here to wake up. We want to wake up the spirit of our heroes that we know is deep inside of us, and it's been dormant, you know. A lot of us are numb, muta, because we don't want to feel how we really feel. We can't afford to really experience our trauma and our grief and our hopelessness, because it will, you know, nullify us. But if we wake up out of that and learn how to manage the way we feel, then we can truly realize who we are as a people. And I feel like we're a bit docile right now.
Definitely docile. All right, so I'm going to ask you something now. How you put together a song like this with all them artists? Well, you can tell some of the artists them I know it's not no big artists on it, so obviously you go for a young news voice to push
strategically. Yeah. So what we did is we hosted a writing camp in March. I linked up Mikey Bennett and Stephen Golan And I pitched it to them that even though I'm from a musical family, I'm a psychologist. Music is not what I do every day. I needed some experienced people. I called on an entertainment lawyer, and I told her I needed her in the room because I'm bringing together some young, and these are all university students. I'm bringing in some young creatives who have music in them like a fire, and they need a platform. So we did this through a writing camp that turned into, we're recording this next week. So the youngsters, them actually write this song under the guidance of Mikey and Stephen Golden. And after writing the song, we did it at Tough Gong. We did the camp at Tough Gong, and we were able to access the studio the very next week and put the song into production. The beat, though, was actually produced by Halrick Thompson, who is a young 22-year-old producer still in university.
Yeah.
And this is an opportunity to give the youth them a platform to write the song and empower them, because when we have an agreement with them 50-50. 50% goes towards the outreach program to the foundation, and 50% goes to the writers. Yeah,
all right. Is there a way, in a 1 minute, you can call somebody, big up somebody, the one them pan it now, if you remember them name?
Of course I remember them names. Jamila Falak. And she's not new to the scene. So Jamila been making music for quite some time now. So if you don't know Jamila Falak, check her out. Marja Bless, you're supposed to know Marja Bless. Him and him twins, him doing him thing. And then we have a special group of university students called the Music Manifestors. They're a collective of university students from Alpha Institute, from UTech, and from UA, who are full of creative genius, and they're not even just singers, but they're also musicians. Great talents on this track. And as I said, it's good music to listen to, but more so, it's a call to action.
All right. Well, give thanks, sister.
Bless you.
Continue the work.
Give thanks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. You too. Much love and respect. Keep safe.
We say the war in Palestine has taken hold of the whole world. Now we hear that the court, International Criminal Court, have Netanyahu up on the wanted list. Any country where him step in will join the International Court, Criminal Court, he can be arrested. You have a couple of them, including America. Now I go arrest him still because them is in league with him. Anyway, we have a line here, Robert Dabdoob, a businessman, and say he must have to have something to say about what is happening in Palestine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Muta. Thanks for the invitation, and let me just first of all recognize you for the work you've been doing all these years, just as an entertainer, but more importantly, consciousness of history, which is sadly lacking today. Yeah,
give thanks. All right, so the name Dabdoob, as we hear the name Dabdoob, not most people don't know how the name Dabdoob come, but you hear the Dabdoob name the flirt all over the place. Like how you hear the name Issa or Matalan. Which one the Dabdoob you is? Tell me.
Well, it's not a big family. It's just my father and his brother came here. My father came here in the 30s, and then his brother came in the 40s. So it's just those two families, and one had 6 children. Well, each of them had 6 children, So it looked like that was a tradition. Although I'm a big failure in that sense, I only had one child.
You're a big failure?
I only had one. But, my excuses are going for quality, not quantity.
Yeah. All right, so where they came from?
I wouldn't mind 6, but, that's life. You're happy with what you get. Yeah.
Where they came from?
Actually, my dad came from Bethlehem. He was, we're Christians. He was born in Bethlehem. And the family house was right in front of the Church of the Nativity where Christ was born.
Yes.
So, And my mom's family, my mom was born in the Dominican Republic, but her father and mother was also from Bethlehem, Palestine. So that's why I'm so familiar with the history there, you know.
All right. Make we start from a little beginning part now. This war between the Israelis and the Palestinians, well, them says Gaza is a Hamas them a fight against. But we say more people are dead who's Palestinian than Hamas. So I wonder what is happening. All right. What is it that's, I'm not going to say started, but the origin of this Palestine, Jewish Palestine, Jewish Palestine, why is it here so pronounced? Why is it so much people now have to recognize what is taking place?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. One is the extent of this genocide has shaken the world and brought attention to it. And as Mia says, it's the first televised and social media covered genocide in the world.
First
we hear
genocide.
About these things, but we never see it.
Yeah,
like we see it now. And the other thing that I think is shocking the people is how the Western, so-called Western world, the leaders of civilization, according to them, how they have just turned a blind eye to it, and in fact supported it.
Yes, of course.
You know, with crying for peace, but sending arms and all
bombs,
that. You asked about the history of it. In the 80s, a man called Herzl came up with the concept of having a home for Jews. And he was European. Now, in Palestine itself, which was under the Turks, and then under the British after the war, there were Jews, Muslims, and Christians like ourselves.
Yeah.
The majority were Muslims, then Christians, and a small percentage, maybe 3 or 4%, were Jews. Those people got along well, contrary to all the lies and things you hear about centuries of conflict. Nothing goes so. They got along very well. And other Christians, I can tell you, I have great respect for the Muslims. That, of course, you have in any race or in any religion, you could have nuts. But they're not following the religious teachings, you know. So the funny thing now is that they push the Zionists. That's what they call the Zionist group. And people have to differentiate between Zionism and Judaism. Although the people were Jews who started Zionism, a home for Jews, a lot of them didn't go to synagogue and didn't partake in the Jewish religion. And that is the whole trick of the thing. Yet they claim that the land was given to them 3,000 years ago by God, as it said, according to them in the Bible. Now, I find that very strange. If you don't believe in the religion, or you can quote the Bible. But you know the old saying, even the devil quotes scriptures. And they have sold this concept that God gave them the land. And you always hear that they are God's chosen people. Now, I know a lot of Jews. The majority of Jews I know don't agree with this genocide. Absolutely don't. And reject Zionism. But they, like most people, are afraid to speak out.
But don't a whole heap of them who call themselves Jews now. Don't is Russia them come from? And Germany?
Well, I was coming to that. And that's why I told you the Jews in the state, original Jews in Palestine, there was no problem with those people, and they are called Semitic.
Yeah.
The Jews in Europe who formed this idea, basically it's a colony. They were going to farm. Colonization. That's the whole concept again. That they're going to take the land. You're going to hear that there was nothing there, it was desert. Rubbish. I have photos, I have, the films of how developed it was in those days. So there it is, the irony of it. First of all, if you believe in God, how can you believe in God, a God that says there are chosen people and he gives them that land? So what happened to the rest of the people in the world? We are not chosen. We are leftovers. We are
but
baked. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mr. Dabdo, the Bible actually said that, that God said them are the chosen people.
Yes. Well, I don't believe in that.
Said.
I'm sorry, I don't believe in that.
Well, I don't believe in that, but I'm telling you, God said.
That is their interpretation of it, you see, because I can't believe that God supports apartheid. If I believe that God wants people are chosen over another, then he's an apartheid God. And that I cannot accept. So, we move on from there. So then these groups started to fund, influence, actually went to Hitler first, believe it or not, to give them land, and they would support him in the war. And Hitler offered them, I think it was Uganda and Madagascar, yes. Madagascar and Uganda at one stage. But they wanted Palestine. And he said it was too complicated to give them Palestine. So they went, and in 1918, well, this was after, but in 1918, before that, they had signed the Balfour, that gotten England to sign the Balfour Declaration, which allowed for Jews to go and live there in Palestine, which the British, and British history of colonization, they destroy everywhere or rob everywhere they live. They control, and promised them that they could live there. So the Jews sent gangs in, and there were some very famous gangs, the Ergon gang, a number of them that started to terrorize the people. And in fact, Begin, who was prime minister later on of Israel, was wanted for terrorism for blowing up the King David Hotel with his gang. So that's the irony of it. And they killed some British soldiers, but it seems that the connection of these people, because they have money, they can get away with it, or the people who back them, they can get away with anything. But Begin, the other one, there were about 3 prime ministers who later became prime ministers who were on the terrorist list of the British. I jokingly told a Zionist person I was talking to one time, it seemed that when he was accusing the Palestinians of terrorism, I said, but it seemed that the qualification to be a prime minister of Israel in the early days was to be a terrorist. Because so many of your prime ministers were on the wanted list. So this is the first time the so-called terrorism came in the area where they started burning people's homes, running them out. And then, of course, the State of Israel was formed in 1948. Again with that backing, recognized by the UN. And there was the famous NABCA, if you have heard of it, where 750,000 Palestinians were run out by force, by same kind of method they are using now in Gaza.
That is with the help of the British. That's the help of the British, with the British law.
The British officially was against it, but they turned a blind eye, just like America is talking about people's rights and this and that, turning a blind eye to what's happening. And no, it's not really genocide. It's unfortunate that these people are suffering, and we need to bring it to a stop. But they said it, the arms, the bombs, and even more disgusted, they are spying with their drones, the drones that go over Lebanon and Gaza and spy to give Israel the information on bombing. Only 25% of them were done by Israel. The rest were done by Germany, Britain, and America. The hypocrisy of this thing is disgusting, really. So, it reminds me of this thing, and I'm not a racist in any way, but, you must be willing to point out the faults of people. But the Indians, while they were being wiped out and I'm talking about the American Indians, I remember seeing a movie of one great, so-called great Indian leader when he was making treaties with the white man, as he called him. And he said to the man that had broken the previous treaty, and the man is offering him another treaty, and he says, white man speaks with forked tongue.
Forked tongue, yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, Britain and America has showed this forked tongue. Yes, and I'm not saying that the forked tongue is only white people are capable of that. But certainly they are the ones who have been outstanding.
But they have been forked tongue for centuries. They have been forked tongue for centuries.
Yes, yes. And of course, slavery was perpetrated by them. But we mustn't forget that people like William Nip, who is an unrecognized, in my opinion, unrecognized hero in Jamaica, was one of the biggest fighters, and he was a white man against, slavery. But anyway, I don't want to digress. So we go on. So they took over there. Israel was recognized. They got 2/3 of the land, I think, and the Palestinians a third, which was crazy. But they weren't satisfied. And in 1967, they claimed they were being threatened, and they went and took over Jerusalem and parts of the West Bank. Now, the story behind this, the real story behind this, is that the Zionists claimed that Israel, and what they now call Greater Israel, is from the Nile to the Euphrates, according to the Bible and them. The Nile is at the border of Egypt, where Gaza is. The Euphrates goes to Iraq. Now, there's been 100 years of this fighting to take over Palestine by these Zionists. And Netanyahu's party, they have called the UN anti-Semitic. They have called Amnesty International anti-Semitic. They have
International Criminal Court.
Everything, all these so-called respected things, they call the ICC anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
And they call the ICJ anti-Semitic. It reminds me of a joke I heard when a woman went to see her son march at a parade on graduation. And when the troops turned right, all the other 500 troops turned right, her son turned left. And she turned around to her friends and said, look, my son is the only one who turned the right way. So Israel has an exception with everything. Israel is one of the few countries in the world that does not have banking regulation, banking control. They are not part, they don't have to declare their nuclear arms. They're not part of the ICC. They didn't join it. They are always accepted. Now, what is the reason for this? The reason for this is the connection with Wall Street, the banks, and the financial interests in the world. That's the simple reason for it. There has been initially, the idea of Israel was a home for Jews, and Zionist Jews, who were all not Semitic, by the way, because they don't come from that area, they were born in Europe. So they are actually the ones who are anti-Semitic, because they are now, the Palestinians are Semitic, the Jews who were born in that area are Semitic, and the Muslims are Semitic.
They are there by the adoption of a religion, not like them claim that them coming directly from
the religion. First of all, Netanyahu, if you look at his thing, by his own admission there. He's secular. He doesn't believe in the religion.
Yeah.
He was, and his parents, if you go and look on his Wikipedia, his parents were secular. They grew him up that way, which means I didn't believe it. And look up the word secular. It means you do not believe in any religion. So how on God's earth you can say God give you this land if you don't even believe in God? It is crazy, but money, unfortunately, people sell their souls for money.
Yeah.
And the people who now run, are attempting to run the world, there is a blend. And I'm a businessman, so I have none against business. But I do not think you have to be corrupt to be a businessman. And it reminds me of this song that Sparrow sang many years ago. Capitalism gone mad. I wish you could play it today. I wish you could play it today. It's very, very relevant.
Yeah.
You know.
But
So
I still
these
want to
guys-
come back to the Jamaican situation.
Yes.
Your message to this government, given that they are connected to Israel, would be your message to them?
Well, not just to this government, but to the entire CARICOM for decency and for our historical position in terms of human rights, and also for our role and history of coming out of colonization and slavery, that we all, the CARICOM, would break relations with Israel as long as this government is in power. Go and look, today, Netanyahu has been ordered by the court to testify despite all that's going on. He's been running from his charges for years. He's charged with fraud
Corruption.
and with accepting bribes.
Yes, corruption from last time, yeah.
For several charges, and he's been indicted. And this is one of the reasons they say that he's pushing these wars, because as long as he can put... I have a man like this, a finger away from pushing a nuclear button. So, I don't know. I think... but the power behind this is not Netanyahu. He's a front for them. Just like Biden is a front for the people who gives the instructions. You can see that. Biden is a lost soul, an old man who didn't know him sometimes as a day. And that is the type of people they want to be in power, so that they just sign. All there's a document as a sign here. And I don't know if you notice that since Trump won, and I have no great hopes with Trump, I think it was a very bad choice between the two. But the one thing, Trump doesn't want war with Russia. And he's not a fan of NATO. But I don't know if you noticed that since he won the election, how the Biden administration has been pushing and escalating the situation with Ukraine and Russia by giving Ukrainians the stronger weapons which they used and drop on things. And I think they're trying to make it get worse so that Trump will not be able to put an end to it. And the objective there is to remove Putin from power so that they can control Russia's resources. And when you control Russia's resources, you can use that and Iran's resources, which is the oil. That is the biggest weapon in the world, but also the biggest money making. That you can use those to fight China, who they consider a threat. And I don't know why China is a threat, because all China is doing is producing things and selling it to the world. A lot of the goods I buy come from the U.S., but it was originally from China. Yeah, so they're making money on it. And they make probably more money than the Chinese make manufacturing it.
Well, they're going to lose some now with Trump and him tariff thing.
Yes, well, if it is goods coming to be shipped out, they will find a way around that. But, they will make the people suffer. But you see, we are all victims, and we don't realize. I remember years ago a man saying to me, we're all Palestinians in the world. And I never figured it out. I couldn't understand it. But what he meant was that we're all going to be victims of the same system in one way or the other eventually. Because if they have what you want, they come for it.
But African people have gone through that long before Palestine. The African people have gone through that for years,
but
centuries.
I think in the modern day thing he's talking, you understand? And of course that was what before, but we thought we had got rid of colonization.
No,
but it is back here now.
Neo-colonialism still exists.
Yeah.
All right, so we have to move. We have to go move.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
thanks for the invitation and keep up the good work.
I hope one day I'll meet you though. I don't remember meeting you.
Well, I have met you before. But you see, you are famous and I am not. So
yeah, but I should remember
so many people. You met so many people, you will forget me. But you want somebody meet you, they won't forget you.
Well, and if you come to me and say your name Robert Abdul again, I'm not going to forget. I'm not, definitely not going to forget.
No problem.
All right, sir. Give thanks.
God bless you, man.
Yeah, man. Yes, identification is a key, you know. Black people lose their identity in every way possible. While you can identify a man by his name, which part him come from, or which part him ancestral legacy there. Black people kind of find it difficult to do that. Them know say them black, one, but them not no country name black land. That is the problem. You know, and most people identify with a land. Yeah, you identify with a land, like the Chinese or the Indian, you know, so you identify with a land. Even the Americans, them identify with a land. We don't identify with a land, we say we're black. Like say you have a black land. Some people afraid to say them are African. Because them say them not come from Africa. You don't have to come from Africa to be African. A cow born in a pig pen is still a cow. So we have to recognize that. So we start out with the female names. Yeah, we'll start out with the female names. Where were they? Okay. Ifuro. Daughters of heaven. Daughters of heaven. Aminata. 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 The princess. Oh, Ifuro is Efuru, sorry. Efuru, Ifuro. Kahai. Kai. Kai. Kai means lovable. Lovable. Nana. 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 Nana means Mother Earth. Mother Earth. So that's Ifuro. Efuru, Ifuro. Daughters of heaven. Aminata means the princess. Kahai, Kai means lovable. Nana, Nana means Mother Earth. Okay, so we're going to Miel. Nataki. Of high birth. Nataki. Kimba. Kemba, Kimba. Kimba means faithful. Andiro, Andero, Andero means life giver. And Nkechi, Nkechi, Nkechi means loyal. So that's Nataki, Nataki means of high birth. Kimba, Kemba means faithful. Andero, Andero means life giver. And then Kenche, Nkechi, and Kenche means loyal.
And now the details. The Jamaica Police Federation has reportedly achieved a breakthrough in securing retroactive payments for overtime hours under the new compensation structure. The retroactive payments come after a period of contention regarding hours regarding added hours and their place in the compensation structure. Meantime, the Federation is now in the process of laying the groundwork for upcoming wage negotiations. More in this report from Danique Weston.
General Secretary Sergeant Lloyd Duncan gave the update recently. He also provided an update on the Federation's progress and next steps, while emphasizing its ongoing advocacy for fair treatment and transparency. Duncan confirmed that members can expect retroactive payments for added hours to be included in their December salaries. The assurance follows discussions last Friday with new Minister of Finance Favour Williams. The minister reportedly promised the Federation that the members will be paid added hours retroactive this month. Sergeant Duncan added that the payments will be non-taxed, which was a key demand of the Federation. As it relates to the next round of wage negotiations, which will commence in April 2025, Sergeant Duncan emphasized the importance of member participation in shaping the Federation's proposals and announced plans for consultations across the island. This consultative approach is aimed at ensuring that the Federation represents the collective interests of its members effectively during talks with the government. Sergeant Duncan reiterated the Federation's commitment to advocating for fair treatment and encouraged members to remain engaged and to bring their concerns to the executive team. He said with retroactive payments secured and preparations underway for the next wage cycle, the Federation is charting a path towards financial stability and equitable treatment for Jamaica's law enforcement professionals. Reporting for IRIFM News, I am Danique Weston.
The Union of Clerical, Administrative and Supervisory Employees UCASE is demanding the immediate payment of retroactive salaries and the new salary rate to dental surgeons in the public sector. The union says this is based on the terms outlined in the MOU signed on October 8th this year. UCASE says the matter should be treated with the highest priority and that it expects the necessary steps to be taken to resolve the matter promptly. UCASE President Vincent Morrison wrote to Finance Minister Favour Williams expressing profound disappointment about the non-payment of the anticipated salary adjustments as agreed under the MOU. He explains that the new salary rates for the over 100 dental surgeons were expected to be implemented and paid last month. Mr. Morrison states that the membership is growing restive and the issue must be addressed urgently in order to avoid further dissatisfaction and erosion of morale.
Very disappointed that having signed off both the implementation of the new rates and the retroactive payment, that the doctors have to be getting upset and angry that we can't hear a word from the authorities, the Finance Ministry and also the Ministry of Health. The regional health authorities, they will tell you that they're ready and willing to pay, but they have to get approval from both the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health will tell you that they're ready to pay, but they have to get approval from the Ministry of Finance. So we are disappointed because this is not just a matter that has jumped up just recently. You're talking about the compensation arrangement, which starts from April 1st, 2022. So I'm hoping that during the course of today, tomorrow, we need to hear from the Minister of Finance.
UK's President Vincent Morrison. Up to news time, the country's public doctors were still awaiting a response from the Finance Ministry regarding the unresolved issue of overtime money owed. Earlier today, reports emerged that there could be disruptions in the public health sector in the coming days. This as 2,500 of the nation's medical doctors are reportedly restive. The Jamaica Medical Doctors Association, JMDA, said meetings were held yesterday with the Finance and Health Ministries, but there was no meaningful progress. In a letter addressed to Finance Minister Favour Williams, dated today, December 5, 2024, the JMDA pointed out that members are upset and the persistent delays can no longer be accepted. JMDA President Dr. Rennie Badro said a comprehensive and transparent resolution is expected within 24 hours. That ultimatum expires at midnight. Dr. Badru said if the authorities fail to act, the JMDA cannot guarantee normality in the health sector.
So our members are very restive and our members are very annoyed. They're deeply frustrated. And we gave the ministry, we had a meeting yesterday, and we gave the ministry a deadline. We need to resolve these issues in 24 hours. Because after 24 hours, we cannot guarantee anything after this whole situation, anything with regards to normalcy. Because our doctors are disgruntled, they're demoralized, and they're frustrated. And the flagrant disregard that the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Wellness and the regional health authorities, the flagrant disregard they have even unto our doctors. They're tired of it now. They're absolutely tired of it. And we're not sure what's going to happen for the upcoming days.
JMDA President Dr. Rennie Badro. Opposition leader Mark Golding says a mechanism needs to be implemented to ensure that all tourism workers earn a fair wage for their services. The statement follows the release of the findings of a recent salary survey, which reportedly found that the sector is offering competitive remuneration. It also found that there are opportunities for improvement in salaries at some properties. The survey was done by a working committee established by the Jamaica Hotel and Tours Association, JHTA, last month to investigate the root causes of issues that led to unrest in the tourism sector. The unrest included the withdrawal of service by some hotel staff members at resorts across 4 parishes in protest over poor wages and working conditions. Speaking during a tour of craft markets in Oteria, St. Anne yesterday, Mr. Golden said there needs to be a standardization of salaries in the industry.
I think some of the respondents in that survey were responding after recent adjustments resulting from the spate of unrest. And yes, I mean, I think it's true that there is no standardization in the industry, and you have some hotels that are doing quite well in terms of their compensation paid to workers, and you have others that are not. And the question earlier is, well, you know, what mechanism is going to be put in place to ensure that the playing field is really leveled and that all of our tourism workers are earning a reasonable amount from their service to the industry.
Opposition leader Mark Golden. This position was supported by PNP candidate for North East St. Anne, Dr. Ryan Simpson, who stressed that even with recent increases, hotel workers are still earning too little.
These workers are making an average of 320 Jamaican dollars per hour, which is about a little over $2. That's according to the standard of the highest paying hotels in Jamaica. From that standard, if the hotel increased the wage of a worker by 100%, that's still going to be under $5. The minimum wage in the United States is a little over $7. So they will still be way below the minimum wage of the United States. And at the same time, Jamaica's economy, cost of living is basically rivaling the United States right now.
PNP candidate for North East St. Anne, Dr. Ryan Simpson. 4 contracts for the government's shared prosperity through accelerated improvement to our road network SPARK program were signed today. The contracts were signed between government and China Harbour Engineering Company, CHEC. The National Works Agency, NAA, will be responsible for the management and implementation of all works. Speaking at this morning's signing ceremony, Prime Minister Andrew Holness noted that the contracts cover 4 packages and are valued at over $36.4 billion for the road work, while an additional $2 billion will be spent on pipes and water mains. Mr. Holness said work is expected to begin this month, with construction scheduled to be completed within 2 years and an additional year for defects liability, during which the contractor would carry out repairs to defects.
I had commented that it would start within this year. If it could start tomorrow, I'd be the happiest person. I am told that there is a date in mind, but I'm not going to say what that date is. When we are certain, and that can only be when the backhoe is on the site, then we will say we have begun. But the marching order is that the work must begin this month.
The project will be divided into 2 distinct phases for community and main roads.
The 4 packages are as follows. Package 1, Kingston, St. Andrew and St. Thomas. Package 2, St. Catherine and Clarendon. Package 3, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland and Hanover. And Package 4, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary and Portland. I have previously explained that the project will be divided into 2 distinct phases. There is a local component, meaning a focus on community roads, and the other component being a focus on main roads.
Today's contract signing ceremony also saw the launch of the new website, sparkjamaica.gov.jm, which will provide the public with information about the program.
I'm very happy to see that the commitment for the website is up. Now, to be clear, the website is there for public information, but there is a phase 2 to it, which we intend to incorporate the public as our eyes and ears, because there is a growing public participation through social media where you see so many things being posted, and you do have to monitor social media because you pick up, many issues that they do not necessarily reach the sources of authority to address them. So we do try to survey social media to see what the problems are and so that we can address them. But there might be a more effective way, which is to offer on the website a platform through which concerned citizens can directly raise their concerns, directly point out shortcomings, call out underperformance to us so that we are able to respond. So this is a way of engaging the public to hold the government, but also the contractors and their subcontractors to account.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Meanwhile, the National Water Commission, NWC, will be collaborating with the National Works Agency, NWA, to ensure seamless repair work under the government Spark program. This morning, government signed contracts with China Harbour Engineering Company, CHEC, for the program, which is expected to begin later this month. The contracts cover 4 packages and are valued at over $36.4 billion for the roadwork, while an additional $2 billion will be spent on pipes and water mains. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Water Minister Matthew Samuda said effort will be made to ensure that work done on the roads through the Spark program will not be impacted by leaking pipes or pipeline works.
The NWC is a party to this project and a party to the contract because $5 billion Jamaican dollars will be invested in replacing leaking pipes. What we wouldn't want to do through the Spark program is repair and create freshly paved roads and have line breaks immediately after. So where we've identified that there are huge leaks or leaks that would likely disrupt the roads that are to be done, the government will be investing $5 billion Jamaican dollars to replace those leaking pipes on the roads identified for the Spark program. So we're looking forward to it. Spark is good for roads, it's good for water.
Water Minister Matthew Samuda. Proceedings at the St. Catherine and Corporate Area Parish Courts were disrupted today due to bomb threats, which prompted emergency evacuations and the rescheduling of several court matters. The criminal divisions of both courts were impacted. More in the report from Clement Reed.
The Court Administration Division, CAD, says at approximately 10 a.m., staff and visitors were advised to vacate both court buildings as a precaution while security assessments were conducted. Following a thorough inspection, law enforcement cleared the Corporate Area Parish Court for re-entry shortly after 1 p.m., allowing staff to return. However, the St. Catherine Parish Court remained closed for the day and staff were sent home. Matters scheduled for today at the Corporate Area Parish Court's Criminal Division will now be heard tomorrow. Meanwhile, civil matters at the St. Catherine Parish Court, originally set for today, will take place on Friday, December 13 at 10 a.m. The CAD says individuals with criminal matters and their attorneys will be contacted directly with new court dates. Additionally, the night court session in Portmore, originally scheduled for tonight, has been suspended and will resume next Thursday, December 12 at 5 p.m. The CAD notes that operations at outstation courts were unaffected and continued as scheduled. Reporting for IRFM News, I'm Clement Reed.
3 people were shot, 2 of them fatally during an incident on Barbican Road in St. Andrew this afternoon. One of the deceased has been identified as Macri Ashley of Barbican in St. Andrew. The second victim, a male, has not yet been identified. According to police reports, the incident occurred shortly after midday. 2 men aboard a motorcycle approached a shop in an area of Barbican Road known as Andrew's Pen. One of the men entered the establishment, ordered an item, and after receiving it, drew a firearm and opened fire, hitting 3 individuals inside the shop. Ashley and the unidentified man were pronounced dead at hospital, while the third victim is being treated. Commanding officer for the St. Andrew North Police, Randy Sweeney, has assured the public that there will be a strong police presence in the area in the coming days. The Jamaica Constabulary Force has welcomed 139 newly minted constables into its ranks. The officers of Batch 156 were officially presented today during a passing out parade at the National Police College of Jamaica in St. Catherine. Acknowledging the demanding nature of police work, Director of the College Assistant Commissioner of Police Merrick Watson urged the new officers to prioritize self-care as they embark on their careers.
Never forget the importance of self-care. Policing is a demanding profession, both mentally and emotionally. Take care of your physical and mental well-being. Seek help when needed and encourage your fellow officers to do the same. You are now part of the law enforcement family, and we all support each other.
Director of the National Police College, ACP Merrick Watson. He also encouraged the officers to uphold ethics and integrity as guiding principles, emphasizing the importance of embodying what it means to be a force for good. Meanwhile, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang called on the public to support police officers as they carry out their duties.
I'd urge you to recognize the importance of the work that our police officers undertake. They step into dangerous stations every single day to protect all of us. Therefore, it is crucial that we as a nation support our police officers, now more than ever. I ask that we all come together to strengthen the legitimacy of the force and to guard against undermining the effectiveness as an institution. This does not mean turning a blind eye to errors. It means to recognize the immense work done by over 14,000 young men and women of Jamaica in the Jamaica Constabulary Force who serve the nation with dignity and with integrity. One mistake or the actions of a few should never overshadow the dedication and sacrifice of the overwhelming majority of the entire police force out there protecting and serving the people of Jamaica. Whether you're a public servant, a civil society leader, or a member of the public, your role in supporting the police is essential. Let us not undermine the mission of the police force, as a strong and effective Jamaica Constabulary Force is critical to the foundation of our society.
Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang. Minister with responsibility for the environment, Matthew Samuda, says the rate of climate change is increasing and is putting further pressure on Jamaica's economy. He says Jamaica has not been a huge contributor to the rate of climate change, but is on the front line of the crisis. Mr. Samuda points out that the country's response is multifaceted through legislation, policy adjustments, and making the appropriate investments to mitigate against emissions and adapt to changes being experienced. He says this is challenging for Jamaica with its fiscal challenges. He notes, however, that the country is not sitting idly by, but has taken action to address the issues.
Jamaica has decided that it will ensure that 50% of its energy comes from renewable sources by 2030. The recent bid would have just been awarded to a firm who will build a massive solar park, the largest in the Caribbean, in Trelawney. We have also just about completed the OUR licensing component for a floating solar park that will float over the Mona Reservoir. You'll see some 46 megawatts of clean green energy being brought on to the grid. Now, this is important because as a nation that's impacted by climate change, it is important that we lead frontally and that we take the moral high ground. But it's also critically important for a nation that pays sometimes 42, sometimes 44 cents a kilowatt hour for electricity, that we do find cleaner, greener, and cheaper sources of energy. Because the reality is Jamaica has been victim of geopolitics, and every time there's an incident in the Middle East and the oil price goes up, our people get a little poorer, our economy becomes a little less stable.
Mr. Samuda highlights the government is addressing climate change seriously.
The very public investment appraisal process that we have entrenched in law has a questionnaire that involves assessing the climate risk to the investments that we make. Now, that is very new and novel for the Caribbean standard, but it's very important to Jamaica. We're not going to build roads on the seaside in the way that...
I've made it to the end. Quite a journey. Quite a lovely journey, my people. We learned so much on the way. But let me know what you think about this one down at the comment section. And before we go, you know it's a Black Power move. Drop a like and subscribe. Share to a friend or a family so they can be a part of the move. Yeah, man, my people.